You know what's crazy? It's something I find, I guess, quite interesting. Right? I always talk about how the algorithm set up because if there's nothing you can log into, or however you want to frame that, nothing you can log into and not see something negative about us, or something negative said about us, or some biased comment, or some biased commentary, hmm? Something that'll make us look like monsters, terrible people from a terrible culture. Black culture is very disruptive. So it had me thinking, okay, if that's our culture, it's I don't heard people say we don't have a culture. What is white culture? I'll let you ponder on that. And to all other those foreign blacks that talk shit about us, about our culture, and then come here and I guess conform, and come here and start acting white, and talking about us and shit. What's going on in your country? Where you from? And to the point where you had to flee it and come here. And as you here, you're talking shit about us? Crazy, right? But you have that. Um, but yeah, when it comes to us, I see a lot of things that, you never see anything positive. It's always something negative. People post a lot of negative. People have a lot of lists of why they don't deal with us, right? Why they want to be away from us. Um, I seen I see it all the time. Why I don't deal with black people, why I don't date black, why I don't shop black, why I just basically every day you can think of. Don't date black, shop black, why I don't like black people, deal with black people, I don't want to be in black spaces, all kind of shit. Anything you can think of. There's a whole list of shit. You know what I mean? And when it comes to black women or black men or just black people, period, if you don't date black, that's cool. Date your preference, right? You don't have to shit on us because you choose to or you prefer someone of another race. Um, just do you. Just do you. You don't have to shit on us as a community, as a people, because we're not your preference. Just do you. it seemed to be it seemed to be too hard. Something so hard to do. Right? So people would rather get on this internet, TikTok, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, YouTube, and shit on us instead of just doing what they do and dating their preference. Date your preference. So, and the funny thing about those people in those videos is right, is because um, I know from we're held to a completely different standard. I mean, to like a godlike standard. Um, you don't have to be Zeus um, for to meet the criteria they look for in somebody that's black, right? You didn't have to walk on water. You feel me? Um, you just have to be so many things. Um, so you have to have a certain amount of money, a certain look, a certain status. Um, you have to have this. You have to have that. You can't have this. You can't be this way, and all this. It's insane, right? But and then but you look at the people or the person that they settle with from outside the community, and they are none of those things. They meet none of those standards. They actually below that standard or average at best. So, like, it's crazy to me, right? So, we're held to a God standard, but when you date outside the community, you have no standards. Hmm. I find that quite interesting. But to me, it's also, to me, I feel like your religious beliefs or your background has a lot to do with that. Because as a black person, if you grew up thinking or looking at white Jesus on your wall, right, then to you, that's the gold standard. Now, this is just my opinion. I could be wrong. And this, to me, to you, that's your gold standard. So no matter what that white person is or what that white person does, to you, they can do no wrong because to you, they're the closest thing to God. See? And this is why I feel like imagery is important. Um, because if you grew up thinking as a black person that the person that is going to save you from this life and grab you and take you to heaven and you're going to grab you and take you to heaven when you die, or that's going to grant all your wishes as you pray and pray and pray, is white, then psychologically or somewhere in the back of your mind, you know what I mean? You know what I mean? So that would explain to me why you look at white people a certain way. It would explain to me that why they can do nothing wrong in your eyes or in your book. And it explained to me why you look at other black people the way that you do, and you held other black people up to a standard so high, but when you go outside of the community, the standard is lowered because you already feel like just because of their tone or their race that they already meet the standard by default. I could be wrong, but that's my thinking. That's how I'm looking at it when I'm looking at you. And when I'm watching your videos of you shitting on us, and I'm reading through your comment section of all the people that seems to agree with you about how much of a trash people we are, and why they don't deal with black people, or why they don't date black people, or why they stopped fucking with black people a long time ago, or why they don't shop black, or why they don't like to be in black spaces or around black people, period. You know what I mean? So I'm looking at you and I see where you are. You know what I mean? Because it's funny to me, right? Especially when you talk about some black women, right? That shit on us. You trying to spray us out here and shit about what we don't do and what we don't got and our emotional maturity and you know how broke we are and this and that and all those stereotypical shit they say about black men, right? And then you see the person that they with, and you know, oh well, you know why they can't be submissive to black men and all this. But then you see the person that they with, and this person, it's like looking at this person, like, you know what I mean? And they don't have a problem with splitting bills with this person. They don't have a problem with taking care of this person while they figure life out. You know what I mean? They don't have a problem with toning down that aggression or that, you know, that masculine energy. You know what I mean? They don't have a problem with that. They don't have a problem with it. The fact that this person is, doesn't really meet the standard that they had set for themselves. Because in their mind, this person meets that standard by default, even though he doesn't have the characteristics or the quality or even the finances that you say you wanted or that you say you were looking for. Sometimes it's confusing. Like, what are you doing? Like, what is this about? Sometimes it made me wonder, how were you raised? Did you have a father? What was your mother like? I'm confused. It's intriguing. It's intriguing to me when the standard set for us is so high, but for others the bar is so low. It's crazy to me. But that's with everything. You know what I mean? Even people who say, oh, I don't shop black because of this and this and that and this and that. Right? Because when you do shop black, you want a discount. Bro, you will go somewhere and pay $1,000 for some shoes, bro. Or $700 for a belt. Or $200 for a fucking shirt. But when it comes to shopping black, you want some kind of fucking discount. Or you feel like black people have an attitude. When you in these stores, corner stores, gas stations, or these luxury stores, and people following you around, you don't feel no way? When you come in the store and people feel like you don't supposed to be in there, or people feel like you can't afford nothing in here, or when somebody tell you hurry up and buy, or when you watch somebody put somebody else of not your complexion or race put the change in their hand, and then they put your change on the counter. You feel me? You get an attitude when everybody else get all 32. Big smiles. You feel me? You feel me? But you get an attitude, and people just automatically assume that you're here to steal something or you can't afford it. But you don't feel no way about that. You know what I mean? That don't make you feel no way. You know what I mean? People automatically, when you somewhere and you're out eating, and people just assume that you're not going to tip. When most of us that do tip, over tip, because we know that people are thinking that we're not going to tip. And if you ever know anything about the industry of the restaurant industry, you know that foreigners don't tip at all. But people never talk about that, because they always talk about, oh, black people this, black people do this, black people do this. Have you ever been around anybody from any other race in a restaurant? A motherfucker down to eat the whole plate and then send it back with a complaint. And want it cooked. Want another one, that same dish, want it again, but this time to go. And they get it. What the fuck are you talking about? And then they don't tip. And nobody says anything. This is accepted. But let that person be black. Uh-oh. We gotta have a video thread. We gotta have a thread. TikTok, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, Twitter, about how terrible black people are in restaurants. How black people never tip anything. How black people do this. How black people do this. How black people do this. Really? Nobody else does anything. Everybody else is perfect. Everybody else is perfect. We're terrible. Everybody else is perfect. Feel me? So we have to meet a standard, especially as a black man. You have to have the patience. You have to be a saint. You can't do nothing. You know what I mean? You get disrespected. You are somebody disrespect you as a black man. People think you're supposed to respond respectfully. You know, mm, turn the other cheek. Or I don't know. I can't even put shit into words right now. You know what I mean? You gotta have the patience of a God. Like I said, we're held to a different standard. You know what I mean? People always talk about what black people don't do, or what a black man don't do, or what a black man don't have, or what a black man is not willing to do, or what he can't do. You know what I mean? You would think that we were good for nothing. Then, that's why I was kind of disappointed when I see black women spraying us on the internet, shitting on us like that. It's disappointing when I see black men doing it too, but it's been a trend lately of black women dropping a whole list of why they don't fuck with us. So if I'm talking about this right now, and niggas under the comment bigging up in it, you so right. And I'm looking at like, bro, what the fuck you talking about? You niggas really this simple-minded? Are we really this? Really? Bitches comparing the here and now to back when niggas was slaves and shit. Feel me? You mean back when niggas? This is what I'm talking about too. I seen a post that some bitch posted one time. Terrible. Very disrespectful towards us as a community. Very disrespectful towards us as black men. Right? So back in slavery times, when they would rape men, rape boys, rape the women, rape the daughters, men, women, and children, nothing was off limits, right? And basically there was nothing you could do about it. I'm pretty sure a lot of men died in those days that actually tried to do something about it. But you'll never hear about that, right? You'll never hear about those that died defending their family, defending their manhood. You'll never hear about that. You'll only hear about those that were broken, those that were taken advantage of, those who allowed themselves to be victims. Those are the only stories you'll hear about. You'll never hear about no revolutionary shit. You'll never hear about no uprising. You'll never hear about those that fought back. You'll never hear about those who would rather die than be treated away. You never hear about that. And most of you don't care about that. You know what I mean? Most of you just want to be house niggas, want to fit in, want to be looked at away by massa, want to be accepted. That's the problem. And you see that throughout social media with our content creators. You feel me? Like I said, man, when something happens to a black person, you don't hear about it. Even if it's a race issue. But let somebody from another race feel like they're being attacked because of their race, and you're going to hear about it all over the news. You're going to be seeing so many Instagram and Twitter and YouTube threads about it, right? Let somebody from another race feel like they're being attacked because of their race by a black person. You're going to hear about it. But let a black person be attacked because he's black. Shh. Crickets. Because in this world of social media, in this new world, black people are the racists. Think about that.